Hello, Danitza. How are you? I can hear you, but it's very, very, very low. I don't know if it's the volume or something else. I don't know if you can check that, please, or you just can speak once again because it was very, very low.
Now,
Okay, say once again, please. I believe it's still low.
hi.
Okay, yeah. But your laugh was louder than your high. Okay, tell me something.
Hi, Cecily.
Okay, I hear you better, but it's still lower than usual. All right, usually I can hear you better. Now I can hear you more than before, but it's still a little bit low. All right, but again, I can hear. Then perhaps if you can increase, right, or turn up the volume a little bit more, that's going to be great. But so far, it's good for communicating. So, how are you, Denise? I imagine that you're still tired, that you're still like that, or do you feel better by any chance? How do you feel?
It's a little better, but now I'm sick, so is that why you can't hear me?
Okay. Now, repeat that, please. Yes, I cannot hear you very well. That part I couldn't. I don't know what's happening.
I'm sick. I think myself is something like.
Okay, you're sick, you said. All right, what happened? It's because you are working until late or something like that?
I don't really know. Maybe because this change of the temperatures.
Okay, yes, because now it's kind of very hot, right? Most people feel that it is hot, very, very hot now. But yes, these changes, perhaps it's something that can make you, right, big or get sick. Okay, that's bad. And are you very sick? Are you taking some medications or anything like that?
Yes, yeah. Like, how can I say, farmacéutica.
Okay, once again, please.
How can I say, farmacéutica, la de la farmacia.
Yeah, you can say to the drugstore, to the also pharmacy is good, but drugstore is in American English.
Okay. Well, the drugstore give me ibuprofeno and antipsychotics.
Okay, and does that work for you? What do you usually take when you get sick? What's your procedure?
I usually, but I know the word, but I don't know how to say it. It's also jarabe para la tos, right?
Okay.
A song.
Uh-huh. Okay, and I checked that for you, but I forgot once again because it is actually we're going to check that again, so I don't forget that again. Because I was about to send that to you, but I totally forget. All right, because I also forget that it's this one, and I know I'm going to say it. The syrup, yes. Okay, so a coughing syrup, a coughing syrup is what you usually take. All right, so it's your throat then. It's not only your nose that is bothering you.
I think both, but more my throat for my 5 years something. Aphonica. Oh,
Okay.
can you help me? How can you say when you don't have?
All right, but I can hear you better now. I mean, were you like that? Were you not able to speak? Were you really that sick now? Or now you have a general, all right, let's say bothering your nose, your throat? Because I can hear kind of well, because that's also perhaps the reason I can hear you low, because you're not speaking that loud. It's because you cannot do it. But I think that's the thing. Were you worse before, or I mean yesterday, or it just started today?
Uh, Yesterday I just have symptoms, but today I think my muscles and my body I was having shit.
All right. Okay.
Hasta lo fresco. I forgot.
All right. No worries. Yeah, I cannot hear very well all the words. Again, I don't know why. I believe it's a little bit related to the microphone because I hear you, but it's very, very low now. And Danitza. All right. Try to see that, please. And until you're doing that, I'm going to give you a notice for Friday. Okay. Try to see that on the microphone because it's really kind of low. Uh, on Friday, all right, I asked for permission for Friday's class, but I didn't get the response from management yet. Okay, because I also have to send a letter. I send a letter to management because I have a presentation on that day. I should be there. It's obligatory, but I don't know if they are going to give me permission. I mean, I've always been well accepted in that sense, but I don't know because of a certain thing. Perhaps they are going to say no. But the thing is that it is kind of likely because most of the times, again, it's not that I ask for permission in that case every time. So very likely they are going to say yes. In that case, we wouldn't have all right the class on Friday. It will be directly on Monday. But again, I'm going to verify that information, all right, to you. But I'm just letting you know because it is going to be very likely that we won't have that class on Friday. All right, of course, we are going to move then the things just one more day, just one more. But that's what I wanted you to know. Also, I don't know if you're okay with that, and if that's the case, if it's okay for you, then it's let me know, please. Yes, no problem for you. All right, good. Yes, it's still very, very, very low, Nanita. I don't know why. Uh, but anyways, also here a recommendation before starting. I know that you couldn't work with this yet, all right? But again, one recommendation also for the topic. Remember that you don't have to mention everything that is going to be part of your thesis statement. In my case, again, I'm just going to repeat that again. I just described something related to executive functions, but remember that my thesis statement was to propose, right, an obligatory training course for parents so that they can, right, raise children taking this information into account, right? But if you're also mentioning directly, if you realize here, professors appear in television, share knowledge, you are going once again directly to your thesis statement. Okay, because your thesis statement is once again sharing knowledge. Professors, right, in television, sharing knowledge, and so on. Okay, so again, you're not going to work on this now, but you're going to the same point. My recommendation again, talk about television appearances in general. It can be, right? You can be that many celebrities, or generally, right? Interviews in televisions, right? Bring some experts or people, right? In from many fields that share or that just talk about their experiences, and that has a strong influence, right, on people in general, right? But not mentioning knowledge or not mentioning professors. It can be one option, right? The other one, remember, you can only talk about the impact of television in the general population, right? You can talk about that nowadays because of how extended the media is, because now everybody, right, has access to radio or television, right? Even in very poor locations, it is common to find even an old television over there, right? So you can talk about that, but more generally, right? So again, you can talk about the impact of television or media in the way of the way that people think or see things in general. All right, that's another alternative that I'm giving you. All right, but again, by giving you those elements, I'm showing you once again that your topic is always going to be broader. You're going to talk about that influence of media on people's thoughts or ideas, and then you're going to give some background to that. All right, you're going to say why nowadays it is that influential, why it's not newspapers, why it's not books, Why is it more likely that people are going to learn something new from the TV and not books? Because we don't read anymore, and that's not weird and that's not incorrect, right? Things change. We're not going to read as often as before. So you can say that because of the technology advancement, right, we are experiencing changes, and now these technological devices are more influential on us than any other source of information, right? Because if you don't study psychology, if you don't study about human behavior, if you don't study about that specific thing that that professor can teach you, it's very unlikely that you're going to read about that, right? But again, I'm giving you ideas. So your background can be about that logic. Why nowadays then the media or the TV is so influential? Why is it again more likely that it is going to be by doing that than by doing this other thing that people will learn about those things? All right. And then your conclusion, right? Talking about media and the influence and explaining why media nowadays is more influential, then your conclusion is going to be now because it is like that, then right, we should take advantage of that situation, and we should be able, or we must interview experts, right, in many fields to take advantage of the influence of television to, right, inform people about certain topics and certain knowledge, right? So that should be more or less the path that you should follow over there. Then it's again, you can take that into account, you can apply it, or you can follow again something similar. But if you analyze, what we're doing is going from something very general, the explanation or background about that idea to justify why it is like that, and then our conclusion. That is, then if this is like this, then it's a good idea to do this. And that's going to be your proposal, right? Your thesis statement. And again, your body paragraphs should serve, right, to support that idea that you're giving, to give evidence, to give strength, right, to give pillars to your idea, to your proposal, and that's it. All right. I don't know if you have questions or comments about that suggestion. I know you're working little by little, but that's my recommendation. But again, what you were writing was aiming again to the thesis statement, but it shouldn't be the case until the last step in the introduction. So what do you say? Any questions, any comments, or anything over there? Let me know, please.
Mm, I changed the main topic and the background, and so I will work again about the introduction. So yes, I
Okay.
will try again.
Okay, yes, be trying again. This exercise, once you get it, you're going to see that everything else is going to be easier. It's going to be like a filter, all right? Or again, something that is always going to go from general to the specifics. All right, but again, you have time to work on that. You don't have to do it now. But again, try to work with an extra effort. I know that it's difficult, but remember that these are going to be our extra or our last classes, even though we're not going to have perhaps Friday's class, we're still right in the last classes that we got. So let's try to take advantage together of this. And again, it's going to be, I know, a big extra effort because of the things that you also got, but this is going to be useful. All right, at the end, it's going to be really useful. So let's go to finish, please, um, well, the examples that we got. Now, remember that before I was asking you for speaking examples. I know now that before, as you are sick now, it's going to be harder. So I'm going to make you write very simple examples as I was doing with the phrasal verbs. And I want to start by reviewing some of the um, phrasal verbs that we covered. I'm not going to make you speak that much, but I believe this is going to be the only, all right, the only thing that you're going to tell me. Just remembering, Danitza, what are the phrasal verbs that you remember that we mentioned in the previous class? Just mention the ones that you remember
Um,
without
the
cheating.
example,
Okay?
so after into Nicholas. Um, count on
Count on. All right.
and get rid of that.
Get rid of. Okay. Is there anything else?
If you don't want me to choose this, but I can't remember.
Okay, good. That's good. If you remember that, that's good. But okay, you have to improve. Well, I know that you're thinking elsewhere now. Okay, so I'm going to forgive you this time. But let's remember, and please, you're going to go and you're going to write now examples in our document, Danitza. And again, the ones that you really should remember. Here, for example, you're going to write one example with come across. Okay, perhaps it's going to be more. Okay, one would come across, one with, not that one because we covered, look forward to. Okay, one would go over, one would look forward to. Okay.
Look to you.
Do you have it? So come across, go over, look forward to. All right, because we know get rid of, put up with. All right, also we know that one, but it's important reinforcing that. Run into. Put up with. Run into, exactly, and take after. Yes, not the last ones, but take after, please. And take after.
Will you repeat one more time, please?
Okay, well, are you going to be able to work with those? It has to be very simple, and I'm not going to ask you for complex examples. Just tell me something simple about them that makes me understand that it's correct. If you use, for example, a person after come across, I'm going to know that it can be correct, but I know that you're not going to be using that in the best way possible, right? So once again, remember, come across, go over, look forward to, put up with, and take after. Okay, I also said run into, I don't know, put up with, and take after. Those, please, that is. All right, do you have any questions or anything before giving you the time?
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to be observing your job, all right, from this place. All right, so work on that, please, Danitza. Let's try to work on that quickly so that we can go to the next part. Remember, I'm not asking for anything complex now, just something that makes sense with the meaning that they got. All right, in general, we can have up to 4 to 5 minutes for the 5 examples. In that time maximum, we're going to check what you got. All right, so let's begin, please. All right, there you go. I think you have the ideas over there. In general, as I was checking, I have just a couple of observations, right? Two observations that we can change, and actually we're going to change, and one thing that you can analyze that's the best option. One thing that is not a mistake, remembered in number one, right? Instead of come across, you use found. But here you have to use, right? Of course, this come across just to practice. So I was walking right at the hospital. All right. Okay. If you were working
You
there in the
told
hospital,
me.
uh-huh. Yes, but it's going to be right. I came across a wallet on the floor, right? So it's not a correction. It's just something that then came across. All right, I came across a wallet on the floor. There you go. Okay, walking at the hospital, it means that you're walking over there, right? But you are not going there. If that's the case, it's also correct. All right, and remember that if you want to be very formal, this is extra. I'm just giving this because it's not a big deal. All right, now in this case, now remember, go over is to review. Now, remember that reviewing, it can be applied to this rule. I'm not saying that it's not correct, but reviewing or going over something is more related when you have to check a material, a study material once again, to be sure that it is clear for you, that you understand it, right? To review something. But it is different, right? Review is not the difference as checking, right? Or revising, right? To revise is to look for mistakes. To revise or to check is to see if everything is okay, if the report is well done, right? That's revise or checking, but that's not going over or reviewing, right? Reviewing again is you have to review a lesson before your test, before your exam, to be sure that you understand everything in that document. All right, so it's going to be different. That's why go over, when you go over something, you don't look for mistakes necessarily. All right, you're not looking for information to correct it. You're just looking forward to acquire that information, and again, and to be sure that it is clear for you. All right, but again, in a certain way, it can also be applied in the sense of revising, but not every time. Okay, that's why my suggestion is to use go over and review more in an academic context, and revise, check, correct, right? In this context in which you have to change details, modify elements, or look for specific mistakes or errors. All right. But again, that would be good. That's not incorrect. If you say that, that's not incorrect, and it can be understood. In look forward to, remember what's look forward to? It means be excited about something in the future. All right. If you say this is not that, she was looking forward to sunsets. Okay, but it's specific, so it can be the sunsets. But it's too direct. In most of the cases, in our example, it's directly with the noun danitza. But remember that after this, you can use a verb. And it's better to use the verb or the activity to make sure what do you mean with the sunsets. What are you're saying here, Carlo was excited and happy about the sunsets in Mali. All right, and that's not bad, it's understandable, but we don't know exactly what's the idea behind it. And again, it can be clear, but my recommendation and something extra is that you can add an action over verb over there, and remember that after to is going to be with a gerund. Okay, so it can be Carlo was looking forward to seeing the sunsets in Malibu. All right, put up with, yes, here remember that this is only a mistake in conjugation. Remember that put is irregular, but it doesn't change in the conjugation. It's put, 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 right? Like cut, cut, cut. So, right, his ego was above the clouds, but the students put up with him because he's the best. All right, yes, correct. Ran into college classmates the other night. Yes, he's tall and very good looking. He takes after her father, but it would be his, right? Unless you're talking about someone else's father, that is a girl's father, right? His. There you go. That's it. Okay, details, but in general, you were able to work with these elements, and that's good. I can see that because of this, again, it is clear. The only one in terms of meaning was go over. That again is not incorrect, but more precisely speaking, it is going to be the thing that I told you. All the other elements are good. Remember also that it's more common to use a gerund after look forward to, but it's not bad that you use directly a noun, but it has to be clear what's the action that is implied over there. All right, but that's it. I don't know if you have questions, comments, or anything, then so let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions. Sorry for the mistakes.
No, come on, it's good, then. Okay, good. It's great that you don't have questions. Let's go then now to the real part that we have to work on today. This last, let's say, well, no, until you have 40. We have 20, 25 minutes more or less. So it's very good. Let's go there. Separable, we know that they are separable because we can place an object in between the verb and the particle, right? That's important. So we can say the terrorists, right, blew up the car, or blew the car up, or blew it up. Okay, that's separable. Now, of course, we have rules. The main rules, you must remember this, Danitza. If you're using a pronoun as the object for your phrasal verb, it is always going to be in between the verb and the particle, right? We never say, please wake up me, right? That's not possible. We have to say, wake me up, all right? And it happens when we have a pronoun, okay? When our object is a pronoun, it has to be like that. Also, if you remember this, I'm sure you do, if the object is very long, then we put it after the phrasal verb, right? We have to put off the important meeting that you told me. Because to say we have to put the important meeting that you told me right last night when we were talking off, I'm even adding more words. That's too much, and it's going to, again, be confusing sometimes. Again, of course, they are going to understand, but in terms of writing or being concise and clear when communicating, it's better to say to say it in this way. Okay, to put off plus that long object. Or if the context is clear, of course, you can simply say we have to put it off. And in this case, it's obligatory also to place it in between, right? So remember those two rules, please, Danitza. If it's a pronoun, it has to be in between. If it's an object, a normal object, it can be in between or after that. But if it's a long object, it has to be after the phrasal verb. All right? Now we go straight to the point. I'm not going to make you read everything, all right? But what are you going to read? You're just going to read the phrasal verb and the meaning. Okay, I'm going to read the examples. So please, you're going to read this, Danita. So give me a second. I don't know this. I'm not used to this many yet. So cheer up is kind of very common. Chop up as well. Do over as well. So figure out. Okay, and call off is close to that one, but it's not postponing necessarily, but it's canceling. So those two, please, then it's only the phrasal verb and the meaning.
Drives thoughts. Something else. Figure something out. Understand. Find solution.
Great, thank you, Danitza. So an example for call off would be it started to rain 10 minutes before the soccer game, so they called it off, right? So they canceled that match, that game. And the other one, right, let me get this here. All right, would you help me with this math problem? I can't figure it out, right? So it is not hard. It's actually something that we have over there and it's easy. All right, if you have questions about this, please let me know.
I have a question about something up. Always an expression that is have to uh, you have to use this expression with an object, or you can use this expression in other like sense in another way.
Cheer up or chop up, you said?
Chop up.
Chop up. You're asking if this is going to be with something that is an object, or what's the other option that you're giving me?
Or anything that is not an object.
No, because if
I
you're
like that
that,
expression.
it can be, right? But it can be, but it's of course in very radical situations. You can chop, right, someone's arm, for example, right? You can chop someone's ear, but that's to cut off,
Okay,
right?
of
Of
course.
course, you can cut, right? So it's possible. It is possible, but of course, we expect that not to happen. Okay, if it happens, you can use it. All right. Okay, yes, but usually again, you use this with food, all right, into small pieces because you are chopping it up, all right, the specific piece of food, or you're chopping things up, all right. When you also, this works, for example, when you are talking about trees, you can cut up a tree, or you can chop up a tree, all right. And again, of course, you're going to do it until the tree, right, falls down, and well, that's it. Now again, it's going to be related again to something, but don't imagine, please, Tanita. All right, when you say chop up or cut out, chop out or cut out, right, that something pops out. All right, and again, that can happen in some situations that we don't want to mention. All right, but it is possible, of course, in any situation if the action happens. All right. With cheer up, we always know, of course, we have to talk about people. I don't know, with animals now, they are using that, of course, right? Your dog, your cat can be like, I think you can cheer also your dog or your cat up. I think it can be possible, right? At least with the ones that are more used to human beings, I believe we can use them. We can use it with them as well. And do something over or repeat a task, right? Of course, that's for people only, but you use it with objects. And that's it, okay? Have that in mind because we're not going to write examples now first, then go again. We're going to read everything first, and then we're going to write the examples, all right? Now, we are good then with this. Call off and figure out. That's what we're going to be practicing, mainly. Now, here, please, it is going to be with keep out, and put away. I remember these two are important. Put off is similar to call off. Let down, we know that's for people to disappoint, right? And pick up also is very similar. This can also be similar but or common, but they are not as common as these other ones, and they are very useful. All right, so please, Tanitza, just the meaning and the phrasal verb and the meaning. Give out, put away.
Okay. Give something out, distribute, and put something away, put something in the correct place.
All right, there you go. Thank you. So give out again, distribute. Very easy to give, simply to give, right? To give out, but again gives the idea of distribution to more people. So please print 100 copies of this report and give them out to all the employees. Easy, and distribute them to all the employees. After you're done reading those magazines, please put them away, right? To put something in its correct place. If you use, right, some clothing, you come back home and you have to put it away, or you have to put them, right, the pieces of clothing away. It means you have to put those in the correct place, all right, in the place where they belong. And that's it. Again, if you have any questions about those two or the other ones, you are going to let me know. Right, I'm going to be going to the next part. Now, here, let me again mark the ones that we're going to be using. Okay, so that's common as well. Here we have common things. This is very useful to remember. And throw away, yes, this as well. So those two, please, and it's about only, please, only the meaning, the word, the phrasal verb, and the meaning, please.
Throw something away, put something on the garbage, turn something down, reject or refuse.
Okay, thank you very much. So I threw the headphones away because they were broken, right? Of course, if you don't use something specific or it's not useful to you anymore, you can throw it or them away. Then she got a job offer from a big company, but she turned it down to pursue a career in music. Reject, right? To say no to something. It can be a thing like a program, a job offer, right? Any type of offer generally, but you can also write turn down someone. Okay, you can turn him down, you can turn a person down again in the sense of rejecting or refusing something from that specific person. All right, so that's the logic. Again, if you have any questions about those two or the other ones that you're taking a look at, please let me know. Okay, right, I'm going to the next part. Okay, there you go, good. Now, the next part is going to be organizing these elements in a different way, so we're going to start now with the practice, please. Remember, if I'm not wrong, we're going to write once again 6 examples. Call off, figure out, give out, put away, throw away, turn down. Okay, 6 elements. So you can write them down, please. I'm going to repeat once again. And so, okay, here I go. Call off, all right, figure out, give out, put away, throw away, and turn down. Okay, those are the 6 phrasal verbs with which we gotta write our 6 examples. In the same way, I don't know if you have any questions or anything before starting. Danitza, I'm going there again with you. I'm going to observe your, all right, your
One more
making
time.
process. You're missing? Okay, you have,
Yeah.
okay, call off, right? Be careful with double F. Figure out, figure something out. Remember, not exactly that, but I'm going to write ST, figure something out. Put away, it is good, put away, throw away. Now the last two, I'm going to go to them, but let me remember, I don't remember the last two. No, I have a bad memory, just as you. So
Oh.
I'm going there. All right, so no, you have it. That's why you have throw away. You have turning down, but that what are the ones that you don't have? Let me check. Repeat, please, the ones that you have. But in case, I'm going to read it again. Call off. All right, call off and figure out. You have those.
Okay.
Then give out, give
No,
out.
let me just give out.
And remember, is give something out. Okay, give something out. Put away. You have put away. Then throw away. You have throw away and turn down. Right, turn someone or something down. Okay, I think you got them now. Yes, you got them. Okay, so I'm going to be watching closely then. Let's work, please. All right, I'm going to be here.
Mm.
All right, I believe you have your ideas. All right, I'm going to give you the short feedback and we're going to be finishing with this. All right, I believe the first one, well, most of them are good. It's just few details and one important thing. All right, but again, I'm going to forgive you this time. So it says, right, she called the meeting off, right, double F again. This is not a big thing, right? So remember, off because she was sick. Okay, good, perfect. Someone can figure it out. It's good. Yes, we can have questions, right, with the statement order. It is not incorrect. All right, but remember the best option is going to be, can someone figure it out? All right, again, just to be very, very, very formal and to have that in mind. Okay, it's not that if you have that idea as a statement order. Then they have to give the results out. Yes, perfect. He has to put his instruments away once he's done. Yes, very good. Uh-huh. Throw, now this is the one, right? Remember, throw is irregular, right? The past is threw, right? She threw the cheesecake away. All right, yes, we imagine because it arrived many days past, it's rotten, or of course not, well, you cannot eat it anymore. So in that case, it has to be done, right? Then turn down, again, the example doesn't show that we are using the example correctly, but if you're saying reject, right? Taylor rejected him, then it's correct, right? Taylor turned him down, but remember, Taylor, third person. If it's present, turns, but I imagine this is a unique situation, so turned, right? Exactly, in third person. What's that emoji over there? Right. There you go. That's it. All right. With this, we are finishing the presentation. The last part is just organizing again that element in it. Actually, no. In the next part, they are just, I'm showing you only the list of phrasal verbs that you have to take into account and the meaning for Pearson. All right. And that's it. All right. With that, we're finishing with today's practice and we are going to finish here. I don't know if you have any last questions or comments before finishing. Remember, I already gave you right the elements for the introduction. Try to work on that one so that we can go then to the a body paragraph later on. And it's because we're finishing the contents. Actually, we covered everything we should have covered. The passive models, this is for, it's very, very basic. If you want me to see this, we can see it. But then we got to see everything that we had to. The ones, again, the lessons that we didn't see are because they were just simple or applied to other types of practice as the one I showed you. But again, now in the classes that we have left, this is the sixth. We have two more classes, right? If it's not going to be on Friday, then it's because of the event I told you. It's going to be Monday and Wednesday next week. Okay, everything should be, well, finished by then, but only two. These are the only two last classes that we're going to have. It means again that I would like you try to do your best to have your introduction, to have the body paragraph, at least to be sure that you understand every single step from the body paragraph. Because again, it seems at the beginning when you see the template that it's easy, but when applying that, we see details that, again, we have to understand just by practicing and practicing. At least the body paragraph and the conclusion. I'm going to give you access. Actually, you have access already to the tips for writing. There you know you don't have to use negative statements. You have to use active voice sentences because of how we can put emphasis, or we have to put emphasis on the agent of the action in these persuasive essays. Some vocabulary that we can use, all right, elements to locate the complement at the beginning or at the end in the correct order, or with a comma at the beginning when it's so far from the subject, and details like that. Okay, but that's something you can read later on. But as we only have two classes, I would like to spend one of them, all right, in practicing the body paragraph and some other questions that you might have, or a lesson that you want to reinforce, or something that you want me to cover that we didn't, that is part of Pearson. And the last one is going to be for the conclusion, practicing again, seeing last details, reviewing, and that's going to be it. All right, again, please be checking yourself in just in case, but I'm going to communicate as soon as I get the permission or perhaps the rejection. I don't know if they are going to turn down right my request for permission, but all right, whatever the case is, I'm going to let you know, but it's very likely that our last two classes are going to be next week directly. Now, again, with that, that's done. Once again, please try to take into account the elements that I mentioned for the introduction. I don't know if you have any questions or comments before finishing now, Danitza. Let me know, please.
No, I don't have questions.
All right, good. There you go. So I hope you get better. All right, I hope you get better. Try to take what works for you. Also, of course, resting is very important when you are sick. I hope you get the chance of doing it so that you can get better. But in any case, remember, if I won't see you on Friday, it will be directly on Monday. All right, take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you then.
Thank you, Feliz.
All right, bye. Good night.
Bye bye.
Anita, sorry. Sorry. I'm going to send the poll now. All right. Thanks for joining again. I just forgot. I don't know what happened, but it is over there. Okay. Thanks for joining again.
It's done. Don't worry.
Thank you very much. Good night. See you.
Good
Bye bye.